Hello, Cynthia. Welcome to this month's CultureWorks Showcase Your Value podcast. I'm thrilled to have you here as always.
Hey, Will, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. I can't believe that we're actually heading into November, and I don't know what happened to the rest of the year, but here we are.
I know, it's amazing. It's just amazing.
It is. Cynthia, we're here to talk this month on the Showcase Your Value podcast series about showcasing the product and how that showcases the value of a coach and consultant.
Great. I look forward to that.
So, yes. So, do you want to kick off with giving us some examples?
Sure. When I was first learning about the C5, I wanted to find out right away what kinds of features so that I knew in my own mind what kind of features were presented so that I could present that to the client or the prospect during the sales call. So some of the features that we already know is that it's very quick and easy to deploy. It's only 5 to 7 questions. It takes less than 3 minutes of the employee's time. The other feature was that there was really a low level of employee time commitment. 3 minutes is not a whole lot of time out of the day. It provides real-time data and metrics, some of which organizations have never seen before. And the outcome is a prioritized and tailored list of information about what individual employees as a group really want from their leaders. So there was plenty of features that went along with it, and there's even more. The automated emails that we provide to send out to staff and that kind of thing. So those were some features that was good to know. But really, what I wanted to know was, well, what is it that's unique about our product? What does it make? How does it differ from any other cultural assessment out there? And I learned that the C5 is unique because it's the only assessment in the marketplace on culture that presents metrics about both anxiety and well-being. And anxiety very quickly becomes a leading indicator in most, if not all, cultures. The second thing it does is it provides metrics that we've never seen before. So the discussion isn't around what I think, what the client thinks. It's really about what the metrics tell us. And that in turn leads to working with the leaders on an action plan. An action plan that I said before is prioritized and tailored to their organization. And the one thing that the assessment does do is it gives graphics to use, and it provides the leadership team with a next step forward, so to speak. So that's really what I found out about our product, the C5. And it doesn't matter whether it's a snapshot or a full C5 once a month or quarterly or biannually. But then I started to really ask myself, well, I'm not the only coach or consultant out there. So what does this do for me as the coach or consultant that's trying to show value to the coach? And what I think it really does for me is basically threefold. And I know there's more, but the three that really resonate with me is that it opens communication between myself and my client, or myself and the prospect. And it helps them see that it's really not about what they think is going on. It's really doesn't involve them guessing. We have the metrics in front of us. So it helps me have a conversation with them around how employees are feeling and what employees are needing, which is usually quite a revelation to the individual that I work with. Second thing is, as a culture coach, hopefully the only culture coach in their organization, I walk beside the leader every single time we have a discussion. Because who else would the leader go to ask these types of questions? They have a culture coach, it's all confidential. And as I walk beside them, I'm able to help them create an action plan. I'm able to help them work through how the individual I'm debriefing will be presenting to the senior leadership team. And that speaks to the health and strength of the culture. The idea that I am their only cultural coach positions me as a trusted advisor. And the trusted advisor in this arena certainly requires a certain level of expertise, which we help coaches and consultants develop that expertise over time so that they are providing the value they need to their clients. So that's really what I see in terms of the value of the product and the value of that I receive as a coach and consultant.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in speaking more to that value of the lead, that the leader is getting by working not only with the assessment, the data, the information and the culture coach. Have you seen, or maybe can you share a story around how a leader was able to move forward more quickly, around how the information basically uncovered an aha moment? The organization was possibly better off than they thought the organization actually was. Like, how did that help, or what did you see?
Well, basically, the things that surprise me are one of two statements that I have heard, but not all the time, but basically. The first statement is, well, it isn't as worse off as I thought. Yeah, okay, so we don't really want to know how bad they thought it was, but if it wasn't as worse off than they thought, it is, you're able to open a discussion around what were your expectations.
Right.
If nothing else, to dismiss the expectations and go back to the discussion of the metrics.
Right. And also being able to share with the leader that they may look or compare to a like organization
That's
has a
right.
lot of value too,
That's right.
because as you stated before, a lot of leaders sometimes feel that they're in a silo, they're in a siloed industry, they don't have the information available, and that's another tool that the coach and the assessment can provide the leader.
That's right. That's right. And again, you're a trusted advisor. You're listening to them. You're hearing what they're concerned with.
Right.
So that's the first statement I hear, is it isn't as worse off as I thought. The second one that I heard very much in the beginning stages, but it's still true now, is, well, now I don't have to guess anymore about what they need, right? And my response to that is, it must be very stressful to have to guess, number one. And number two, if you are putting two things that are really important in running an organization in terms of performance and productivity, you're not wasting money and you're not wasting time. And one individual said to me, yes, I had an issue last year. I thought it was a training issue. I put money towards the budget in the training issue, only to find out that at the end of the training and after some investigation, it wasn't a training issue to begin with. That money is gone. It could have been placed elsewhere. And it was because I was guessing about what they needed, or I was listening to a segment of our population and our organization rather than what the employees were saying. So in that case, well, I can stop guessing. I love to hear that, because now we have all the metrics we need and all the information we need.
Absolutely. Well, and I think in the stop guessing realm is really critical today as we're looking at challenges in identifying people to come into the workforce, maintaining, recruiting, and keeping staff, especially management, in a position to function and highly function in the organization and provide that productivity, time management, efficiency, those other pieces. So, I think those are really critical elements that speak to a whole wealth of things that leaders are concerned about.
Absolutely. And you and I talk about leaders as being not only the C-suite or the CEO or owner of the business.
Correct.
We talk about all of the wonderful human resources people who are instituting some of these products and some of these engagement opportunities. And we also really kind of talk about the managers, because it's the managers who have the bottom line to staff. So
absolutely. Well, thanks as always, for your great insights, Cynthia, for being the voice not only of the coach or consultant, but also being someone that works with these products on a consistent basis, delivers a lot of training, demos, those pieces. So, you hear a lot of different voices that are not only using the assessment from coaches and consultants and HR, but also to leader feedback as well. So we always enjoy learning those pieces of information. And we'll see you next month with a recap for 2022.
Looking forward to it, Will.